Among others, aside the time of its report, outcomes of these fact checks were amplified, but other claims relating to a disruption of voting are being fact checked. Recommendations to INEC. 1. Election personnel and material to polling units yet to poll or reschedule the election where polling is yet to commence by 12 p.m. 2. Deploy RATEC and backup immediately to where the device failed show the biometrics. At the end of polling, paste the form and immediately upload the EC8A to the IREV. 4. Monitor priority voting and assistive devices for elderly, pregnant, and persons with disability voters to ensure compliance and availability. And 5. Monitor ISANs for rapid response to any reported arson, kidnapping, or hijacking of materials stroke personnel. That's for INEC. Agency them to maintain and remain neutral through non-partisan conduct. 2. But restrained polling units and avoid any perception of heavy-handedness. 3. We are calling agencies to monitor the election areas especially during the counting and collation process to avoid disruptions. 4. Support and ICPC plainclothes officers working at the polling units to catch vote traders. Then 5, escort election personnel and materials from the polling units to the various levels of collation. And 6, keep access collaboration, coordination, and synergy live throughout the day to respond fast and proportionately and transparently to any incidents. Recommendations for political parties and candidates. 1. Party agents and units focus lawful observation and not intimidation and vote trading. Abstain from vote buying and corporate polling agents and supporters from vote trading at the polling units. And 3, commit to challenging through the tribunal or court, protest or self-help. Then for the media, we're calling on the media to refrain from announcing results until officials declare at the appropriate polling and collation levels. There should be no reporting of unofficial projected figures. For the media, we're calling on them to time fact-checking any disinformation or misinformation as the election moves to the critical stage of vote counting. And thirdly, for the media, promptly report any attack or denial of office using the dedicated lines and apps. And then finally, for the voters, we recommend that they vote independently, decline any inducement, and report vote buying to INEC staff, security, or an accredited observer in the spot, on the spot, rather than staying silent. And secondly, if a dispute or threat arises at any polling unit, Voters should report to security agents or observers rather than escalating it by themselves. Next steps. The hub's observers deployed at polling units and thereafter at the collation centers will continue to monitor the counting, collation, and transmission of results through to declaration at registration area, local government, and state collation center levels. The EUSDGN Election Observation Hub will issue a post-election report following the declaration of the results that will address the overall conduct, credibility, and outcome of the election. The Hub hereby reiterates its call on all political parties and candidates to await the official outcome of the election and to pursue any grievances exclusively through lawful and judicial channels. In keeping with the peace accord signed on 30th July 2026, and also calls on the people of Osun State to remain calm and patient as the process moves towards conclusion. Our own conclusion. The Osun State governorship election of 15 August 2026 is a critical test of the new electoral legal framework and a bellwether for the 2027 general elections. The EUSDGN Election Observation Hub thanks INEC, the security agencies, the political parties, the media, and above all, the voters of Osun State for their engagement with the process today, and reaffirms its commitment to an accurate, evidence-based, and impartial account of the election as it concludes. This statement is signed on behalf of the Hub by the Center for Media and Society, the International Press Center, Nigeria Women Trust Fund, TAF Africa, the Kuka Center, and Yaga Africa. I thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is our preliminary statement. At this point, we invite questions from the press, if any. No question. I thought it was one. There's one person. Can someone pass the mic to?
Good afternoon. And sir, I think you didn't mention the specific location of the electoral stuff that you said, but I noticed something. Firstly, at the South LGA, yes, that I don't know whether it's Alajo 2, but I know it's Ward 5, yes, Ward 5 Unit 1. I saw a particular incident there because, yes, we know that the Electoral Act,